We are back. That's your guy, Mr. DNA. Today we are going to break down Nasdaq. Let me remove all the lines. Okay, guys. If you can check now, we are on a downtrend. We were on a uptrend. Then we just break a down at our trend line. So if you can check our last videos, I have showed you something like a raising edge, something like this. It was like this, if I'm not mistaken. It was like this. If you can check on our last video, then I told you that it's possible for the Nasdaq to go down until this point. So let's start again without wasting our time, guys. Let's start without wasting our time. So if I'm not mistaken, we were somewhere here. So let me try to cut so that you will understand why the Nasdaq went down and retested at that point and came back up again. So here we are on a H4 time frame. So if you can check, we're on a uptrend. So we have a trend line like this. So which means we have a first touch. We have a second touch here, and we also have a third touch, which is here. So which means we have first touch, second touch, and the third touch. So what are we expecting from this? We were expecting a Nasdaq to break this trend line. Sorry, let me adjust a little bit. So what are we expecting from this? Okay, guys, if you can check here, that's your guy. Don't remember, guys, that's your guy, Mr. DNA himself. Mr. DNA, the founder of Forex DNA. Okay, guys, so if you can continue, if you can check, we have a first touch, we have a second touch, and a third touch. So we were expecting a Nasdaq to break and retest at this point. I'll explain to you why I'm expecting to retest at this point. Or if it failed to break this trend line, it was supposed to go up and form double top. It was supposed to go up and form a double top. So if it breaks, it means it will come here. That's our first turning point after breakout. I will also explain to you or show you why we're expecting a sell also at this point. Okay, so if you can check here, we are close to our trend line. So let's play it. Let's go to 1 hour chart so that we will start to play it on our 1 hour chart. Let's adjust our trend line here. Okay, so if you can check, don't forget, guys, don't forget to subscribe so that when I post my videos, it will just give you a notification. So guys, if you can check here, let me cut here again. Guys. Okay, so if you can check here, we are on a uptrend, but we have a pattern again. Guys. So if you can check here, we have a higher low and higher low. So which means higher low and higher low, they're supposed to meet each other. So it means you have this higher low, you also have this higher low. So let's plot again, higher high. I want to show you why it was a profitable trade. Okay, so if you can check here, let me adjust. Okay, so if you can check here, we have first touch, we have a second touch, we also have a third touch. First touch, second touch, and third touch. Also on our outer trend, we have a first touch, which is here, we have a second touch and a third touch, which is here. So which means we were expecting, we were already know that the Nasdaq will go down before, we will already know before it break the trend line. Okay, let me cut again somewhere here so that I will show you why. Okay guys, if you can check here, we have a inner pattern again. We have an inner pattern. So if you can check here, if we can plot this trend line like this, we know that when it break this one, we just enter a sell, which means after this breakout, our first turning point will be here. So which means if it break this one, we have a possibility that it can even retest at this point, then went up, then down. We're expecting it to break here. Sorry, we were expecting it to break here. Sorry guys. We were expecting a Nasdaq to break here and retest at this point, and went up a bit for pullback, for pullback until this point maybe, then it will went down. I'm not saying it was supposed to do exactly like this. So we were having a turning point which is here. We're having a turning point which is here. So it means if it break this one, we're expecting it to him to trend line. So let's remove this one. So guys, if it break this one, we're expecting it to retest at this point and went back to trend line. Then it will go down again. Guys. It will go down again. So we were expecting something like this on a Nasdaq. We're expecting something like this on our Nasdaq. So let me show you something. Let's play it. I want to show you exactly our entry. Let's remove this one. Let's remove this one, guys. Let's remove this one, and let me hide our moving average also, so that our chart will be clean. Okay guys, so if you can check here, we will already have a first touch, second touch, and a third touch. So which means you will already know, guys, you will already know that after this rejection, you have to wait for bearish candlestick to close, then you enter a sell. Why? You have a first touch, second touch, and third touch. Also on our out trend, it means if you can count, it's having also a third touch, which means inner trend and outer trend, they meet here, which means it's showing us that we have a sell. Okay, so you can also put a trend line if you want to get a proper entry. Then you will say, okay, after this trend line break, then you will enter a sell. Okay, so let's play it. I want to show you something, guys. You see, it's going down, it break our trend line. You see, so if it break our trend line like this, you have to wait, guys. You have to wait for this candlestick to close before you exit. Let's play it. Okay, you see what's going on. The reason why it was struggle to break this one is because we have a turning point E. So if you can check here, we reach this turning point, so we are still expecting a sell. Guys. We are still expecting a sell. You see, check what happened, guys. So if you can check here, it just turn here again, reach our turning point. So we have to wait for it. You can exit, then you have to enter again here if you have a rejection. So if you can check here, you enter, then you expect it to go down. You're expecting it to go down. We're expecting it to go down. You see, TP reached, guys. TP reached, guys. So because it reached our TP, you can exit, then you wait for another pattern to be formed. Guys. You can wait for another pattern to be formed. Okay, if you can check here, now we have another pattern which is here. So which means if you have a rejection at this point, you have to know that this is a continuation pattern, guys. This is a continuation pattern. We have an impulse, we have a correction. So we're expecting a impulse again. So let's play it, guys. Let's play it. It breaks and came back. You see, it breaks and came back. Okay, let's go. It reached our TP. Don't remember that if you have a pattern, you have a first TP after breakout, which is here. The second TP was supposed to be here. So let's hold it until until trend line. Then I will tell you why I was expecting a sell. If you still remember, guys, it went down, then it went up again. Then I told you that if it breaks this trend line and give you a pattern, it means it will continue going down. So if you can check here, it was retesting 1 hour turning point. That's the reason why it failed to break this one. That's the reason why we were supposed to hold again. So let's go. Let's check here. Okay, here we go, guys. Here we go. We reach our turning point, which is here. Because what you have to know, guys, when we are talking about a support and resistance, if you use a support and resistance, but I don't prefer to use a support and resistance, this is a real line, guys. This is a real line. So if you are using a support and resistance, you have to know also that a support and resistance is not a line, it's a zone. So which means it's possible to reach the point or fail to reach it. If you can check here, some of you use a support and resistance. So if you are using a support and resistance, if you can check here, it just retest before it reach our turning point. But it's correct because our zone, this is a zone, it's not a line. It was supposed to be a zone, not a line. Why? We don't have exactly turning point. We don't have an exactly turning point. So from this point, if you can check here, we have a rejection. We were expecting it to give us a pattern before it went down. We're expecting it to give us a pattern before it went down. Let's go to 30 minutes. So if you can check here, we are waiting for the pattern before we enter our sell. Okay, if you can check, we have a double top here. So after this double top, it went down. Guys. It went down. Again, you have those who use a support and resistance, you have something like this, which is a support here, then it was supposed to be a resistance here. But because we don't focus on a support and resistance, which means you have to wait for the market to give us a pattern, clear pattern, before we enter our sell. So here we go, guys. Let's plot it like this. So let's wait for the clear pattern, guys. Let's wait for the clear pattern. It went up, retest on our resistance, down. Okay. If you can check here, we have a breakout. So how do you enter, guys? You have to go. I don't want to give you an entry, or how do you enter this trade? But what you have to know, guys, we are using a top-down analysis. You have to go to smaller time frame. Like 50 minutes. That's where you will find your entry. Guys. So the reason why it went down and retest here is because we have a pattern here, then we have a first turning point and second turning point here. So it went down to retest at this point. So now we are still waiting for the clear pattern, guys, before we enter. We are waiting for the clear pattern before we enter. So let's wait, guys. Let's run. Again, we have a higher low and higher low. So let's wait for it, guys. Let's wait for it. Don't go against trend, guys. Remember, if you go against trend, you blow your account. So let's wait for it. Guys. Let's wait for it. Again, you have to know that we have a turning point, which is here. Okay, we have a turning point, which is here. TP reached, guys. Then it break our TP. So let's check what's the next move. If you can check, we have a fake breakout here. We have a rejection, then we have a fake breakout. TP2 reached, guys. TP2 reached. You were supposed to enter your sell here, remember, after breakout of this trend. If you go to 50 minutes, you will see something different. If you go to 50 minutes, you will see something different. So if you can check here, we have a breakout of the trend. We have a breakout of the trend. So let's wait. We have a fake breakout here. Then it went up again. So let's wait for it to form another pattern, guys. Okay, if you can check here, we have a pattern. We have a pattern, guys. If you can check, we have a pattern. If you can check here, we have a pattern, guys. We have a pattern. So let's wait and see whether if we have a rejection. So if we have a rejection at this point, it means we're expecting this trend to go down, continue going down, because this is a ascending channel, guys. This is ascending channel. So we're expecting, because we have a first touch, second touch, and third touch, we're expecting a sell from this point. So let's remove this one. Let's remove this horizontal line, guys. Also, let's remove this one. So we have a first turning point. So why I'm putting this one here is because it's possible to come here, down here, retest at this point, then went up to retest on a trend line. But deeply inside, we know that our bigger time frame is showing us a sell. Our bigger time frame is showing us a sell. So let's sell again. Let's play it again. Then we will see. Let's play it, then we will see. But this one is the ascending channel. We have impulse, we have a correction. Then we're expecting an impulse from this point. So let's go. Okay, if you can check here, you see, we have a rejection, we have a sell. So turning point, it failed to break our trend line. That's the reason why it went up. Okay, so let's wait for it to go down again. Then after that, we have to wait for another pattern. So let's wait, guys, and see. Okay, if you can check here, we have another pattern again. We have another pattern again. It's busy forming another pattern. This one is a fake breakout, guys, remember. Okay, then we have this, something like this. We have something like this, guys. We have something like this. So let's wait for it, because here we have a double top, because this pattern is no longer working, because we already reach our turning point, which is here, our main turning point of this pattern, which is here. So we already meet the turning point. So here we have a double top, guys. If you can check, we have a double top. So which means it's not always where the market will form a third touch. Sometimes it will end up to form a double top because of the pattern, which you will see it on 50 minutes. We have a pattern somewhere here. If you go to 50 minutes, you will see it clear. We have a pattern which is here. So after this pattern, you have to know that it's possible to retest on a double top or to break the horizontal line. Then it went to trend line before it went down. So let's play it and see what's going to happen. Again, you also have this pattern again. Your turning point, we have this turning point after breakout of the trend. So let's remove this one. Let's play it. Let's play it, guys. It's busy retesting on our resistance or on our trend line. If you can check here, we have a breakout. So you have to wait for it. If it break again and retest, then that's where you will know that we have a possibility of a buy. So if you can check here, it went up, then it went down. Okay, so let's stretch our, you see, it went up, it rejects on a trend line, then it went up, reject on a trend line, then it went up, which means you don't know whether if it will break or not until it reaches this point. So if you can check here, guys, if you can check here, if you go to 50 minutes, you will see something like this. You will see a pattern. It will change a direction because of the pattern, which means we have a impulse, we have a correction. That's a impulse, correction, impulse. So we're expecting something like a correction. We don't know whether if we go to smaller time frame, we will see maybe a pattern somewhere here. But for now, let's wait. Let's wait, guys. Let's wait and see what will going to happen. So let's play it until we find another pattern, so that we will take a sell. Again, guys, what you have to know, I will show you something. What you have to know is that when USD gain, Nasdaq supposed to fall. That's what you have to know. Don't buy maybe a Euro USD, expect maybe a bigger movement. and expect a smaller movement on a Nasdaq. They move same direction. They move same direction, guys. Let's continue, guys. Sorry. Okay, if you can check maybe somewhere here, guys, somewhere here. So if you can stretch your trend line here, if you can stretch your trend line, sorry. Guys, remember, and a market move in two phases. It's an impulse correction, correction, that's correction, impulse correction. So we're expecting impulse after breakout of this trend. Okay, but again, entry and exit is very important, guys. Entry and exit is very important, guys. Entry and exit is very important. I'm having a bit problem of a network, but let me sort it, guys. Let me sort it. Okay, so if you can check here, we have an impulse, we have a pattern, we have a rising edge here or ascending channel, if you can check it clear. So which means this moving a trend line is supposed to touch here, which is our higher high, guys, which is our higher high, guys. Sorry, I'm having a bit problem of network. Let's pause it. Let me fix the network first, then we'll continue, guys. We are back, guys. We are back. Okay, guys, if you can check here, let me adjust here, guys. Let me adjust so that our chart will be clean, so that everyone will understand what's going on, guys. Okay, if you can check here, if you can check, guys, if you can check it clear, let's remove this one. If you can check it clear, what we are waiting for is a breakout of this trend. So if you can check, it's possible to retest at this point or this point. So if it's retesting at this point, it means it just went up a bit, then to continue with a sell. Why? If you can check here, if you go to smaller time frame like M15, you will see first touch, second touch, and third touch. Then we have a breakout. I'm not saying always it will form a third touch, but this is a big opportunity, guys, for selling. This is a big opportunity to sell, guys. So if you can check here, we have a smaller pullback here. So which means if you want a risk entry, you can even enter here, guys. You can even enter here before retest. But our risk entry was we were supposed to enter here, but you won't see it clear because we're on a 30-minute chart. If you go to 50-minute chart, you will see a first touch, second touch, and a third touch. First touch, second touch, and a third touch, which means our risk entry, we were supposed to enter our trade here, then we hold it until down here. But also we have the inner pattern, which is here, because Nasdaq is very dangerous, guys, remember. But we have a inner pattern somewhere here. Then our first turning point will be here. Our second turning point, it will be here. Why our first turning point, it will be here? It's possible, guys, to bounce at this point, then it went up again a little bit, then form another pattern, then it will go down again. So we're expecting a sell from this, guys. We're expecting a sell. So let's play it and continue. If you can check, guys, it's busy struggling whether to go up or down. If you can check, finally, guys, it's going down. Finally, it's going down. But it's struggling, but it's going down, but it's struggling, guys. So if you can check here, we have another support, which is here. Our first turning point is reached, guys. Our first turning point is reached. Market is a market, guys. Market is a market. So if you can check here, we have a smaller pattern, which is here. We have a smaller pattern, which is here, guys, which is here. Sorry, let's pause it. We have a smaller pattern, which is here, guys. So which means after breakout of this trend line, you have to know, guys, possibility is the same thing. Don't go against trend, guys. Don't go against trend. It's not safe, guys, to go against trend. So if you can check here, you have a short buy here, you have a buy here. So if you check, our first entry was supposed to be around here. And again, guys, if you can check, it meet our turning point because of this. But it doesn't mean because it reached this one, it means it will continue going up, guys. So let's continue, guys. We're still expecting the Nasdaq to reach this point. We're still expecting a Nasdaq to reach this point, guys. As I told you, guys, we were having a pullback. I told you that you have to know that our first turning point, it will be here. It's possible to bounce at this point, then it went up to form another pattern. So here is our pattern, guys. It's just a smaller pattern, but it's clear only on a 50 minutes time frame. TP reached, guys. TP reached, guys. So guys, you have to know, when you are using a pattern, we don't focus on a support and resistance. We focus only on the pattern, guys. We focus only on the pattern. So we are still expecting a sell, guys. We're still expecting a sell. If you can check on our bigger time frame or bigger chart or bigger picture of the market, guys, it's very clearly, I'm having a bit problem of a network, guys. I'm having a bit problem of a network. But here we go, guys. Here we go. Remember, we are above, guys, a trend line of a daily. We are above the trend line of a daily, guys. So which means we don't expect a buy, we expect a sell. That's the reason why, if you can check, when it go up, it's struggling, it give you correction, even though if you can check here, why? The direction is a sell. That's the reason why, if you can check, it's struggling, busy struggling to go up because it's a downtrend. So when it is giving you something like a correction, you have to know, because you are on a downtrend, you have to know, guys, that it will go down. It will go down. If you can check here, it just retested because of a double top. We have a double top, guys. We have a double top, which is here. That's the reason why, if you can check, it went down to retest at this point, then bounce back again, retest, then went down at this same point, then it went up because it was forming a something like this. It was forming something like this, guys, which is a raising edge. We have a raising edge here at this point, guys. We have a raising edge at this point. So if you can check, guys, we are still expecting a sell, because our trend line or our bigger time frame, it's still showing us that we're still expecting a sell on the Nasdaq. We are still expecting a sell on the Nasdaq, guys. We are still expecting a sell until that point. Until here, down here, I'm having a bit problem of a network, guys. Sorry. But we're still expecting a sell, guys. We're still expecting a sell. Yeah, until this point. We're still expecting a sell until this point, guys. I'm not saying it will reach this point, but we're expecting a sell because we're above. We are below the raising edge. This is a raising edge, guys. So we are below. If you can check here, we are still expecting the Nasdaq to go down until this point. I'm not saying hold until this point, because a lot of things it will happen when you are still on a sell. A lot of pattern after pattern, guys. It will give you raising edge and this and that. So I'm not saying when you enter here you have to hold it until this point. No, I didn't say that, guys. So what you have to know is that we are using a pattern, but we're expecting a Nasdaq to come to this point. We're expecting a Nasdaq to come to this point before it went up again. Okay, guys, it will form a lot of pattern while you are on a sell. But remember, you are on a sell. You are on a downtrend. You don't buy, you only sell. That's what you have to know. I'm not saying if you are a scalper, don't buy. You can buy also but I prefer to take a sell. If you are not a scalper, you can take a sell only. Also, a scalper is safe to take a sell only. The reason why is that it's possible that you will give a buy entry or buy signal, then it will just shoot and continue going down because of the trend direction. Trend direction, guys. We are still on a sell. Even now we are still on a bearish. So after this, it means if you exit your trade, so you have to wait for the pattern again. So let's pause it a bit. I want to show you another pattern. So let's go to 30 minutes, guys. Let's go to 30 minutes. I want to show you a pattern. The reason why it went down from that resistance. The reason why it went down. The reason why it went down, guys. I'm having a bit problem of network. Let's wait a bit. Let's wait a bit, guys. Okay, guys, we are back again. Okay, guys, if you can check here, we have a pattern. The reason why the Nasdaq went down is because of the pattern. It's because of the pattern. We have a pattern here. So if you can check, guys, if you can check, we have a first touch, second touch, and the third touch. First touch, second touch, and the third touch. So which means we were supposed to enter our sell somewhere at this point. We were supposed to enter our sell at this point. Again, we have the bottom line, which is here. So which means you were supposed to enter a sell. Then you just, if you are a scalper, which means you enter your sell here. Then when you reach this point, you're out. But if you are not a scalper, also you can take your sell here. Then you just hold it until when it continue going down. You just lock your profit until it hit your trailing stop loss. Then you are out. So we are still expecting a sell even now, guys. We are still expecting a sell. Let's play it. We are still expecting a sell, guys. So here, because we have a pullback of this candlestick, so which means we have to wait for another pattern, so that we will enter a sell. So that we will enter a sell again, guys. We are still expecting a pattern, guys. We are still expecting a pattern. Okay. If you can check here, we have a pattern. Here we have a pattern here, guys. We have a pattern. We have a pattern here, guys. Again, if you can check, we have a something like this, which is a pattern, guys. Which means it went down, hit the turning point, then out. Okay, so we are still expecting a pattern. We are still expecting a pattern. We are still expecting a pattern. So let's pause it a bit, and let's check this one, this trend line, and let's put it here at this point, and let's find this entry. Okay, so if you can check here, we have a first touch, second touch, and third touch. Then it's going down now. It's going down, guys. It's going down. We are still expecting a sell, guys. We are still expecting a sell. We have this also. My network is very poor, guys. My network is very poor. So to cut this video, what we have to do, let's go to predict our future, guys. Let's go to predict our future. Let's go to predict our future, guys, so that you will know what the next direction of the Nasdaq, guys. Let's go, guys. Let's hold a little bit. My network is very poor, guys. My network is very poor. Okay, here we are, guys. So I want to show you something. My network is very poor. Guys. So I want to show you the exactly direction now, what you have to expect from Nasdaq, guys. What you have to expect from Nasdaq. Okay, guys, if you can check, sorry, sorry. Okay guys, so let's predict our next move, guys. Let's predict our next move on the Nasdaq. Let's predict our next move on the Nasdaq, guys. So because already you know that we are on a downtrend, so let me remove all the lines. Let me remove all the lines so that we won't waste our time, guys. Okay, if you can check here, we have a clear pattern. Clear pattern, guys. We have a clear pattern. If you can check, guys, you have a higher low, here. So let's put our trend line like this. Okay, we also have this one, okay, which is a higher high. Guys, remember, don't cross your trend line. Don't cross a body using your trend line. Don't cross a body when you plot your trend line. Don't cross a body. You have to cross a tail, something like this. Okay, so if you can check here, we have first touch, we have a second touch, which is here, and a third touch, guys. So we were expecting a sell, so which means if you can check here, we have our turning point, which is here. We have our turning point. I will show you why you were supposed to enter a buy, a sell. So let's put our exit here, which is our turning point 2 after this one. So okay guys, if you can check here, we are on a downtrend. So let's put our line somewhere like this, which is our inner pattern. So we have a breakout, we have a rejection, which means after this bearish candlestick, you were supposed to enter a sell. When you enter a sell, you know that it's possible again to retest at this point, then went up a little bit to retest on a trend line, or continue going down. But because you enter your trade early, it's safe to hold the trade until the turning point. So now we are still expecting a Nasdaq to reach this point. We don't know whether if it will break this one, but if it failed to break, possibilities for forming another pattern like this. Okay, let me finish plotting this one. Let me finish plotting this one so that you understand about the third touch. Sorry guys, sorry, I have to update my windows. Okay guys, so if you can check, guys, we have a third touch here. We have a first touch, second touch, and a third touch. We also have first touch, second touch, and a third touch. So which means we were supposed to enter our trade somewhere here, then we put our stop loss above the trend line. So now we are still expecting the Nasdaq to reach this point. If it failed to break this one, it will form a pattern, then it will continue until this point. That's what we're expecting, guys. That's what we're expecting from Nasdaq for now. If it fails to break this one, it will go up to form a rejection, or to form a pattern or rejection of the trend line, guys. So what we're expecting Nasdaq somewhere here. But again, guys, I'm not saying when it break this one, just enter. Wait for the pattern. Then when it form a pattern like this, that's where you will enter here, or you will enter after breakout. So that's what we're expecting, guys, from a Nasdaq for now. We're expecting this from Nasdaq, which means next week we're expecting a sell. We're expecting a sell next week on Monday on a Nasdaq. But first, guys, remember, we have to wait for the pattern to be formed after reaching this point or turning point. It means it's supposed to form a pattern like this. You will see pattern on a 50 minutes, maybe, or 30 minutes. I don't know. But you have to wait for the pattern to be formed here. Clear pattern. Then you enter maybe or somewhere here. Besides, if it break and form a pattern somewhere here, then you enter after this one, which means you have a first point, second point, and third point. So it's possible again to form a pattern like this somewhere here. Then you enter a sell, which means if you enter a sell, your turning point will be here. because this one will be already reached this one. So you have to wait for another pattern to be formed, then you enter a sell, you hold it until this point. But remember, don't just enter, guys. Risk maybe a 1:2. Your risk maybe 2% of your account, guys. So if you want to hold a trade, it will pay you more because of holding, not because you are using a bigger lot size, guys. That's what you have to know. So for now, we are expecting a pattern like this on a Nasdaq to be formed somewhere here. Or maybe it will form a pattern like this, then it will just form a first touch and second touch, then to come back to form a double top, then to went down. I'm not saying you have to wait for the third touch. Sometimes it depends. Sometimes it will form a third touch, sometimes it will form first touch, second touch, then it went down, go up, form a double top, then go down. So it means if it form a double top, it will just show you, guys, same thing. It will show you when. So for now, we're expecting a sell on the Nasdaq, guys. We're still expecting a sell on a bigger time frame and a smaller time frame, guys. Enjoy your day, guys. We will meet next time. If you have another maybe or something like a currency you want us to analyze together, then we will do it. I don't mind, guys. I don't mind to help you, guys. We will just do it. So don't panic, guys. We will meet next time. Shalom.